So guys, Shawn Porter has also been very vocal in fighting Manny Pacquiao. Here's the thing, Manny Pacquiao is not interested in a Shawn Porter fight, especially after yesterday or this morning. Manny Pacquiao is looking for the big fights. He's looking for the fights that are going to pay him huge amounts of money. He's looking for the fights that are going to pay him serious money. I'm talking $20 million upwards, right? And unfortunately for Porter, Porter's not a name. He may be a champion, but he's not a name. I don't think Manny Pacquiao will be interested in that fight, because Manny Pacquiao's not interested in fighting a guy for their belt, because Manny Pacquiao's won many belts before. So he's not interested in fighting for the WBC belt. He's more interested in the money, the legacy, the challenge. I think all of that excites Manny Pacquiao. And I don't think Shawn Porter falls into any bracket. I don't think Manny Pacquiao will get paid huge money fighting Shawn Porter. I don't think it's a big money fight, especially in compared to the others. I don't think if he beats Shawn Porter, he'll get the credit. It's not as hard a challenge as it is with the others. So I don't think it's very challenging for Pacquiao, even at this age, compared to the other fights that he could take. I just don't think Porter has that kind of draw and that kind of appeal that would interest Pacquiao, if I'm honest with you. Whereas I think Pacquiao would be more interested in a Spence fight, more interested in a Mikey Garcia fight, more interested in a Terence Crawford fight, because there's that challenge there. There's the money that will be huge, especially for Spence. I think the money for Spence would be really big. Also Thurman, it's the challenge, it's the money. I think Thurman would also be quite a big money fight for Pacquiao. So these are the things that entice and attract Pacquiao at this stage of his career. Unfortunately for Shawn Porter, he doesn't fall into any of those categories. Shawn Porter, to me, is technically deficient. He's limited. We saw that this morning. He was very lucky to hold on to his WBC belt, which I think he was very fortunate, and the judges definitely helped him out. Majority of the people had him losing against Ugas. And I just, to be honest, if I'm honest with you, would I be interested in watching Shawn Porter against Manny Pacquiao? If Manny Pacquiao was to fight Shawn Porter next, I'll be disappointed, because it's not a fight I want. It's not a fight I want. You know, and I don't think it's a fight that Pacquiao wants. Pacquiao's not spoke about Porter once. I don't think he's really interested. I don't think the fans are interested. I don't think Porter, in my opinion, I think Manny Pacquiao destroys him and beats him convincingly. It's just not a fight that I want to see. You know, I want to see Pacquiao in the big fights. I want to see Pacquiao involved in the big mega fights like Spence, Crawford, Mikey Garcia. You know, if Amir Khan beats Crawford, that's a fight that I would like to see him in, because these are big fights for him, big fights for us, and exciting fights. I just don't like I don't like the Shawn Porter fight. I don't want, to be honest, if I'm honest with you, not to hate on Shawn Porter, but I don't particularly want to see Shawn Porter fight any of the top guys. I'm not really interested, if I'm totally honest. I'm not interested to see Shawn Porter, because I just think Shawn Porter, I just don't think he's at that level. He's not a top. In my opinion, he's not up there with the Thurmans, with the Spence, with the Crawfords, he's not up there with them. I just don't see it, or with the Mikey Garcias of the world. He's not. He's limited. I think against those top guys, he's get beats every time. I think he's going to get beat. I think Danny Garcia was also is limited, but he's a good fighter. He makes things happen in his fights. But let's not forget, technically, he's not the greatest fighter out there either. I think anyone technically good, anyone with boxing ability that can handle Shawn Porter's, you know, velocity, output, negate his, you know, come forward type of style, I think beats Shawn Porter all day of the week. I just don't, I think he's quite one-dimensional. That's all he can do. I think yesterday showed that he tried to do something else, and he shouldn't have won. He lost the fight. He tried to do something else. He got the decision, but really, he really shouldn't have won that fight. So he was lucky to hold on to his WBC belt. And I think a fight with Pacquiao, no one's interested in. Pacquiao's definitely not interested in him. And Pacquiao's not interested in fighting a guy that, you know, doesn't draw big money. He's not really a challenge like the other fights. Because Pacquiao could fight Spence for huge money, and also it's a challenge. And that's what Pacquiao's looking for at this stage of his career. Unfortunately for Shawn Porter, like I said, he doesn't fall into any of those categories. So I don't think anybody's queuing up to fight Shawn Porter. Not because he's so dangerous and he's so good, just because he doesn't draw that big numbers. He's not a huge pay-per-view star. And I just don't think people view him as a challenge in comparison to the other champions out there. But leave your thoughts, guys, and let me know what you're thinking, guys. Remember to please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. I'll see you guys in the next video.